Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and have a little coffee chat this morning. There's several things that I want to update you on that have been going on. Normally, I post this type of video on my Patreon first, and then a week or two later, I post it on my YouTube channel. But there's news, and it's going to affect what I'm posting next week, so I'm posting it to both. But if you would love to support this channel, please go over to my Patreon and you can support the channel over there. And I really appreciate all of those people who support my Patreon channel. So anyway, lots of news. So grab your coffee and let's get to it. Okay, first of all, you all know that I have restarted my marketing and writing business kind of from scratch. And like I've talked about before, if you're going to start any kind of business, side gig, anything, one of the things that's really important for you to do is to get out and network. Go to networking luncheons. I don't care if you are selling honey at the farmer's market. You need to network with people so they know who you are. They can recommend you or your products or services to other people. That's how business works. Business doesn't work just off of random strangers. You'll starve to death doing that. So I have been out networking. I joined a local B&I group, which has been wonderful. A lot of my business has already come from there. Very grateful for that. But I also have been going to women's luncheons, other networking luncheons. So I went to a little local networking luncheon this past week. And of course, they have a time where you can get up and you can say, hey, here's what I do. So basically, I talked about the fact that I do a lot of social media for people, mainly because that's a pain point, not because I'm going to get rich doing social media. But that is a huge pain point for businesses. It's a time drain. It's a time suck. Y'all know that. That is one of the ways I can get in and help a business and then do other things for them as the need arises. Other content creation, business consulting, anything like that that they need. So that's been wonderful. Anyway, I get up at this networking luncheon and I'm saying this is what I do. I write books and we talk a little bit about the books, etc., etc., etc. Well, I sat back down. And one of the ladies there who is a bookkeeper, accountant, CPA type, does taxes and bookkeeping for people. And I did not know her. But after I stood up and said what I said, she's like, hey, I've got this friend and she's got this YouTube channel. I didn't even mention my YouTube channel, but she says she's got this YouTube channel. She's here in Amarillo, and she's kind of gotten frustrated with some of the younger people that have tried to help her, and she's just really needs some guidance. Could you talk to her? And I'm like, sure, I have a YouTube channel, which this lady had no idea I had one. And I'm like, I would love to talk to another YouTuber, because believe me, I would. And this woman's retired, so she is doing what I'm doing. She's a little bit older than me, but fully retired. So I'm like, I absolutely want to talk to her. Well, her name is Jacqueline Nikkel, and she has a quilting channel. I also taught quilt classes back in one of my former lives. So I love quilting, love quilt classes. So I got on and looked at some of her videos so I'd know what was going on. She's had this channel for 3 years. It's Nikkel and Dime Decor. All ran together, but it's Nikkel. Nikkel and Dime Decor. Anyway, that's her last name. Any hoodles. She's had this channel about 3 years. She has 170 videos up. She does all of her own editing, all of her own thumbnails, all of her own uploads. She is incredibly proficient from a technology standpoint. And so, yeah, I zipped over there to talk to her, and I am so incredibly impressed with her. She started this channel during retirement. She did not know anything about doing a YouTube channel. Zip squat, right? None. Kind of like me, started with 0. She learned everything she needed to know on YouTube, just like I did. She watched some of the same channels, you know, the vidIQ and all of these channels that help creators get started. She was watching the same channels I was. She just did it. Not only did she did it, she has kept it up for more than 3 years. She posts every week. She has series on the quilts that she does. And the channel was born out of her wanting to find a hobby in retirement. And she was a complete beginner and went to a quilt class. And she was so intimidated that everybody else had this incredible body of knowledge about sewing, about quilting, about all these things. And she just really, it affected her tremendously. And she decided she wanted to start this channel that was for complete beginners, just like she was, which is a great concept. It's very specific. It's not just a quilting channel. It is a quilting channel for beginners in retirement, just like she was. And let me tell you what, it's wonderful. So after we had our chat, I called her the next morning because I thought, I don't know why I didn't think about this when we were chit-chatting. But I asked her, hey, can I do an interview with you? Can I interview you for my channel? Because you're doing what I am telling people to do. And you've done it in the way that I tell people to do it. I mean, how great is that, right? How often am I going to find someone local who's actually doing that? And so she agreed. And so next Tuesday, this is Sunday. Next Tuesday, I'm going to go over and we're going to film an interview with her. Y'all are going to get to see that. I'm so excited about that. I think y'all will love what she's doing. And we're going to chat about that. But one of the frustrations she had, and I know y'all will get this, is that when you talk to younger people who assume you're an idiot when it comes to technology, by the way, this happens with doctors too. They treat people this way too. But you're in retirement, they think you just don't know anything. So they tend to be very aggressive and talk down to you. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And they're just very curt and short. I have started to encounter this myself, and it is the most frustrating thing ever. I have heard from friends of mine that doctors have treated them that way too. If you go in and you're retired or you're over a certain age, they think you're an idiot and you don't have any clue with how you feel, and they just dismiss you. The same thing is true when you try to do something with technology. She said she had a little bit of help from her nephew when she was originally setting up, because she also set up a website, social media accounts, several other things. And she's not going to use some of those. We're going to change a little bit of that. But she has an Etsy shop. She's very technology proficient. But it's very frustrating when you want to speak to someone about it and have a conversation and they treat you like you're foolish. It's just very disheartening. So, I mean, I've encountered that myself. She's encountered that. So it's so nice to get to talk to a fellow YouTuber who's encountered those things, but has also overcome them. There's no excuses. She didn't make excuses. And during this process, while she had this channel, her husband passed away. She continued with her channel. It gave her a purpose. So I think y'all will love to hear from her and what she's been able to do. And she is almost monetized. Most YouTube channels take about 3 years to be monetized, and she's just almost there. So y'all can hop over and kind of look at her channel. Be sure and tell her you came from here. You came from my channel, so she'll know that some people are going over and looking at it. But next week when we have the interview, you'll really want to. And I'll put links and everything below in the description for this video. And next week when I do the interview, I'll put links to her YouTube channel so you can hop over there and give it a look. But I was so excited about that. And I know y'all will love that. The second bit of news is several of y'all know that I had a book out at an agent. I wanted to go traditional publishing with this book, which meant I needed an agent. I finally heard back from that agent, and it was disappointing because she said she loved the book. She loved it, loved it, loved it. I was a great writer. She had no other comments on the book. She loved the book. I was a great writer. And then she said, but you have no platform or social media following, so I just really don't think I would be able to sell you to a traditional publisher. It's like she didn't even Google me. She had no clue I had a YouTube channel, and I put that in the letter to her. So I'm like, I kind of feel like she was just wanting to get stuff off her desk. I don't even know if she even read the submission. And at first I was kind of irritated about it, but then I thought, you know what? People are people. And when they're busy and they can do things and it's not necessarily intentional, everything happens the way it's supposed to. This was the pep talk I was giving myself, right? Well, anyway, shortly thereafter, I found out she is working very closely with a publisher that I originally submitted and did a contract with for one of my other books. And I realized partway through that, before it was published, that he was a complete shyster. And I was able to get my rights back. And that's my opinion, by the way. Your opinion of him might be completely different. That was my opinion of him. And I found out since that this agent works very closely with him. And he's since changed the name of his publishing company, in my opinion, to get away from all of the bad press and all the authors that he did dirty. And now he's actually using these agents to be legitimate now. And you know, when you think about the way things happen and the way things are supposed to go, I am so glad now. That's Gracie and her bone. I am so glad now she did not take this book on, because I would have been in a mess. And so here's what's going to happen. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to publish the book myself. So y'all will be seeing that shortly. It's called Cathedral of the Sun. It is a romance type women's fiction book. But it's not, it doesn't have a lot of, it is a kind of a PG version. Some of my other romance books are spicy, like spicy, and they're not PG-13. This one is PG. I mean, there's nothing like that in there. It's just a good read. So I'm going to publish it myself, and you all will get to see that as it happens, as I get that up and get that done and get the ebook up and get the print version done and get the audio version done. And that will happen in succession. So I'm actually pretty excited about it, because this book has been languishing for an entire year. I finished it last December, a year ago, and it's been out to agents for an entire year. And I am just, that process is so broken, I can't even. So I'm anxious to get it up, get it out, and move on. And you all will be seeing that too. And I'm really excited about that. But anyway, that is my update for the 1st of February. I'm trying to do some sort of coffee chat update of what is really going on every month. And so stay tuned for the next one for the first part of March, but this is February. And so I'm excited about both of those announcements. So I hope you are too. And be sure and tune in next week when I interview Jacqueline Nikkel about her YouTube channel. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.